Welcome everyone. Today we have a super fun video for you. We are going to be showing you every single food and beverage item at the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2021, excluding alcoholic drinks. So we have a ton to go over and talk about. We have tried every single thing at the festival. We didn't actually set out to do that. It just kind of happened.
Not that it was an accident that this happened, but we went the first day with some family and tried some snacks with them, and then we went with some friends and tried some snacks, and then we went again and tried some snacks, and then eventually it became I wonder if we could try every single snack at the festival, and we have managed to pull it off. So we're so excited for this video because it was a lot of fun trying all these snacks, and we can't wait to share it with you.
Now, we weren't actually able to complete this mission of trying everything at the festival until just a few days ago because one of the booths at the festival has actually had a rotating menu. It changed twice during the festival for a total of 3 different menus, and the new menu just started right at the end of May. So we went and tried that food so we could finally have finished everything, and now we're putting this video together for you. We're gonna dive right in, and the direction we're gonna go to help keep things kind of straight with the booths is we're gonna start by the Journey into Imagination Pavilion, the pathway there over into World Showcase. We're gonna go around World Showcase through Canada, and we're going to end with the cart that's over by Test Track.
First on the list is the Flavorful Kitchen that has a lot of the same items that it did last year in the festival.
They have a blood orange agua fresca, which is just so refreshing. They've had this a few years in a row now, and it is one of my favorite drinks at the festival.
And a returning favorite of mine, the seared salmon with risotto. This is so good. It's a lighter snack option and really nice, especially on a hot day.
The grilled baby vegetables were a new addition this year, and they were honestly pretty bland. I was really surprised they didn't have much flavor. The cookie butter worms and dirt milkshake is just really strange. I can't figure out what it's trying to be. But the strawberry mousse was a really nice dessert, very light and not too sweet.
The Honey Bistro was a favorite of ours last year, so we were really excited to try these items again. They do have a returning item with a twist, as well as a brand new item we haven't tried before.
The honey and sweet corn spoon bread with jalapenos and bacon was really good if you like cornbread, but I do wish it had a little bit more flavor.
The chicken flatbread was a favorite of ours last year. They did change it up this year. We did not like it as much. It was very overpowering with the honey mustard flavor. The honey cheesecake has been a favorite of ours the last few years, and this year was no different. It was amazing, so light, so refreshing, so much flavor.
The honey peach freeze is another favorite of mine. It is a delicious drink, and you can get it with or without the souvenir sipper cup. The citrus blossom, where of course every item on the menu has citrus in it, brought several new additions to the festival this year, both in the food and the drinks. You can get the orange lemon smoothie with or without the Orange Bird Sipper Cup, and this year it is so much better than the past couple years. It is not nearly as sweet.
The lemon poached lobster salad was very good. We just didn't like the panna cotta with it. It was a very strange flavor, but the lobster itself and the salad was really good.
The citrus braised pork belly was a little bit salty, so if you don't like salt, maybe stay away from this one, but we personally loved it.
The citrus shortcake was literally like eating a cloud with orange zest. So good. Both loved this one. Definitely recommend getting it.
Although the refreshment port is not one of the booths, it is a permanent restaurant, they do have festival exclusive items for the Flower and Garden Festival. The plant-based Italian sausage and peppers poutine was a very large portion size, but we weren't very big fans of the meat itself. However, the gravy on top was great.
The popsicle trio is probably the prettiest snack item they have here at the festival this year. The honeydew was really good. It was our least favorite though. Our absolute favorite was this raspberry mint, followed by the coconut lime. The Northern Bloom is the booth here in Canada and has lots of returning favorites. We absolutely love trying the food here and never get tired of it. The seared scallops were a favorite of mine last year, so I could not wait to try them again. This year they did put way too much mustard on it, so if we get rid of some of that, it would be perfect.
The beef tenderloin tips is a very heavy dish, but it is delicious. This has been one of our favorites for the last several years, and this year was no different.
The griddled maple pound cake was a very dense cake, Robert loved it. I thought it was a little too sweet and needed just a little more gelato to help offset it.
The Festival Favorites booth inside World Showplace has several past festival favorites returning, as well as a new menu item.
The frozen lemonade is the same you'll find throughout the parks, but still very good, just nothing special. The watermelon salad was oddly enjoyable. It had a ton of flavor. We both absolutely loved this one.
The brisket and pork belly slider is returning from previous festivals, and this is still on my list of top festival snacks.
The fried green tomatoes with crab fennel salad was a really nice combination of flavors. Everyone enjoyed it.
The key lime tart has been a favorite of ours in past festivals, and this year was no different. It was absolutely delicious. Highly recommend this dessert.
The Cider House booth is also here in World Showplace, has a very short menu for food items, very long menu if you're looking for alcohol.
The potato and cheddar biscuit with salmon tartare was really good. I wasn't expecting to like this one, but the combination of flavors was really nice.
The dark chocolate raspberry tart was wonderful. It is a very dark chocolate, but the raspberry is such a nice combination with it.
This is the final menu at Farmer's Feast and what they'll have for the rest of the festival. They've had 3 different menus throughout because it is locally sourced and seasonal, so it does change throughout the festival. The tomato and cornbread panzanella was kind of a strange dish. The burrata was really nice, and we liked the cornbread and we liked the salad, but altogether the flavors were just kind of strange.
The barbecue seared pork tenderloin was so good. This was absolutely delicious. We both really enjoyed this one.
The lemon ricotta cheesecake on oatmeal raisin cookie butter was delicious. I would actually choose this over the one at the Honey Bistro.
This was the original menu at the Farmer's Feast booth. The duck confit was amazing, not as greasy as we expected it to be, and very good flavors.
The spring onion soup was a much larger serving size than we expected, and we absolutely loved these flavors. The off the beaten path profiteroles with red beet mousse were something that we weren't really looking forward to. It sounded kind of weird, but they actually tasted delicious.
And this was the second menu they had at the Farmer's Feast booth. The warm asparagus had very large pieces of asparagus, but we loved it, so it gave us plenty of food to enjoy. The Parmesan was a very strong flavor, but definitely added to it. The herb-crusted lamb was so good. I'm a huge fan of lamb anyway, and this was cooked perfectly. Absolutely incredible flavor.
The strawberry rhubarb upside down cake is one of my favorite desserts at the entire festival. I'm already a big fan of strawberry rhubarb pie, and this is even better than that.
The Fleur de Lis booth is the booth here in France and has several returning items that we loved last year, as well as some new items on their menu.
The goat cheese tart with caramelized onions is returning again this year, and once again, I didn't expect to like it, but I absolutely loved it. It's super buttery, flaky pastries, just absolutely delicious.
The duck confit with gnocchi was very good. This was actually sweeter than we expected it to be, which was a little strange, but we both loved the flavor either way.
New to the festival this year is the caramelized beignet filled with vanilla cream. This is basically like if a creme brulee were turned into a donut, and it is amazing.
The chocolate macaroon on a stick is a returning item that I have absolutely loved in the past. This year, though, it was just okay, not as chocolatey as I remember it being.
In between Morocco and France, La Isla Fresca is the booth with kind of the island/Caribbean flavors, lots of tropical flavors there, and this booth has changed themes over the last few years. The Tropical Freeze was a very refreshing drink. It had fresh mango on top, and it kind of reminded me of the Pog juice or Stitch juice or Jungle juice that they serve at some of the restaurants around property.
The sugarcane shrimp skewer was wonderful, nice and light, really good flavors, of course very tropical flavors with the coconut and lime sauce.
The lamb curry had a lot of flavor. It was very, very good. It was a lot heavier though, especially with those plantains. I was a big fan of the tropical mousse cup. It had a lot of flavor, very sweet but not too sweet, and it was a really light dessert because it was served cold.
The Taste of Marrakesh is the booth here in Morocco. We were very interested to try the different options because they have such a wide variety of food items here.
The Moroccan seafood couscous had a lot less flavor than we anticipated, and honestly the entire dish was kind of dried out and just not very good.
The shakshuka here was a very strange combination of flavors. This may have just been a personal preference here, but we did not enjoy this dish. Our favorite snack here at this booth was the lemon magdalena cake. It had a fig compote on top, a little too much fig for us, so we just brushed a little bit off and it was perfect.
Hanami is the booth here in Japan, and they're bringing back some old festival favorites as well as some new things that we were very excited to try. If you've heard of anything at the Flower and Garden Festival, it's probably the frushi, and this is still one of my favorites every single festival.
The pork shank with truffled mashed potatoes were amazing. Much bigger portion sizes than we expected. This is a great bang for your buck and of course tastes amazing. And the shrimp and crab here was so good. We both loved this and will definitely be getting it again because it was one of our favorite snacks so far.
The funnel cake booth outside the American Adventure always has some type of specialty funnel cake, and this one was a lemon cheesecake ice cream on top of a funnel cake. It was delicious.
Magnolia Terrace is the booth here in America and took us a little longer to try the items here just because there was so much seafood. You have to be in the mood for it.
The crawfish etouffee was a huge portion size and there was a ton of flavor in this dish. It did have a little bit of heat, but we absolutely loved it.
Cajun style roasted oysters, need I say more? These were a little salty, but very, very good, and even came with their own little bottle of hot sauce.
The boudin two ways was really good. We preferred the ball form of the sausage. It was a lot more mild and had a lot of flavor, but the link form was a little more spicy and was kind of covered in mustard.
The pecan cake was delicious. It had a nice maple whipped cream on top. Very, very good, but a much heavier dessert, especially after you've had all that seafood.
The pecan praline was basically what you would expect. It's very sweet, very dry and crumbly, but overall pretty good. Primavera Kitchen is the booth here in Italy, and they've brought back some items from past festivals as well as a couple new ones. The arancini was really good. I enjoyed the risotto and sausage, a nice blend there with the sauce. However, for the price point, I don't think I would order this one again.
This was a little different than you'd expect a margherita pizza to be. It had no sliced tomatoes on top. It's a lot of pizza, which is great if you're sharing with a family, but it's just pizza and there's so many other great options you can get at the festival.
The cannoli was really good. The chocolate shell and a little bit of candied orange inside the cream there. Awesome flavor, but it was very small.
Barnmarkt Farmers Market is the booth here in Germany. All returning items as far as the snack items go, but we are very interested to try them because we have not tried them all before.
The potato pancakes with applesauce I thought were very enjoyable. The applesauce is house made and the potato pancakes were just perfect.
However, I preferred the potato pancake with ham, onions, and herb sour cream. Very good, lots of flavor, very heavy meal if you're trying to eat something lighter. This is not it.
But we both agreed that the toasted pretzel bread with ham and Gruyere cheese on top was the best food item here at this booth.
The warm cheese strudel with mixed berries was very good. We both absolutely loved this, and a great price too, especially for a dessert. Definitely something shareable. Refreshment Outpost is the permanent booth in between China and Germany, but they did have one single snack item for the festival, so we did have to try it to see what we thought.
The pineapple skewer with tahini seasoning was really good. The sweet and the salty and the spice with the chili powder there was a great combo, but you definitely need some water when you're done. Lotus House is the booth here in China, and they have several returning menu items as well as a new one for this year's festival. The Panda Bubble Tea was pretty good, but it wasn't anything special, just your basic bubble tea, so probably wouldn't get this one again.
The Bonbon Chicken Skewer was very good, but it did have a slight kick, especially for someone like me who's very sensitive to heat. I did have to be careful with how much I ate of it, but we both did really enjoy this one.
The Papa Cakes are by far the strangest thing on the menu. They're potato cakes filled with shrimp and water chestnuts and a strawberry sauce on top. Really weird combination, but it worked really well.
The house-made crab and cheese wontons had great flavor. We absolutely loved these. A nice crunch to them and a really nice sauce on top. Definitely recommend getting these. Jardín de Fiestas is the booth here in Mexico with all new snack items, so of course we're very excited to try these. The tostada de cochinita, or the pork tostada, did not have a lot of flavor, which we were really surprised about, but this one was just okay.
The Taco Vampiro had a lot of flavor. We really enjoyed this, but the corn that came with it did have a lot of spice.
The Sope de Chorizo was the plant-based option here at this booth, and it was incredible. Had a little bit of a kick, but the flavor overall was amazing.
Trowel and Trellis, just past Mexico, is hosted by Impossible, so all of the food items are plant-based, and they have a lot of new menu items this year for us to try.
Twining's cranberry and lime green tea was very refreshing, very light. I loved this.
The grilled street corn on the cob is back again this year as one of our favorites. Absolutely love the flavors here with the butter and the topping on it.
The Impossible sausage and kale soup had great flavor. Absolutely loved this. It did have some serious heat, which I was surprised by, but I kept eating it because I loved it.
The boneless Impossible Korean short rib surprised me as one of my favorites at this booth. The flavors of everything all together were just amazing.
The lavender pot de creme was the only thing we did not enjoy at this booth. The peppercorn in it just overtook it and it was just weird.
Pineapple Promenade is back near the Starbucks where we actually first got started today, and they've brought back several of the favorites they have from festivals past. It wouldn't be the Flower and Garden Festival without a violet lemonade, and you can get that here at this booth. It is one of my favorite drinks to get at the festival every single year.
The spicy hot dog had a lot of toppings on it, so a lot of flavors going on. We really enjoyed it, but at the end of the day, it is still a hot dog. Mixed berry buttermilk cake, we loved this last year. It is again just as good this year. Highly recommend this one.
Dole Whip with Fanta is exactly what it sounds like. Pineapple Fanta with Dole Whip on top, and I think this is better than just having Dole Whip by itself. This booth is also where you'll find the Lime Dole Whip that is the prize for completing the Garden Graze. The Garden Graze is where you try 5 specific items here at the Flower and Garden Festival and get them to stamp your festival passport booklet. When you bring that booklet back to this booth, they'll give you this Lime Dole Whip for free.
This Dole Whip does come in a reusable cup with some seeds that you can then plant in the cup and create your own little garden at home.
Last but not least is Epcot Sunshine Griddle by Test Track. This is a breakfast themed booth and it is brand new this year. The Fruit Loops milkshake was one of the strangest things I've ever had to drink, but it was actually pretty good.
The avocado toast was incredible. All these flavors combined together were amazing. We absolutely loved this.
The shrimp and grits were another favorite from this booth. There was a ton of flavor here and we all loved it. The corned beef brisket hash had a lot going on with a lot of different flavors, but most of us really enjoyed this one.
The fried cinnamon roll bites were very sweet but very good, especially with that candied bacon on top. We hope you found that as much fun as we had going through trying all those different snacks. Overall, we tried a total of 85 snacks between the drinks and the snack items combined. That is a lot of snack items. Yep. We were stuffed at the end of each day that we were there, but it was a lot of fun, and of course we got some really great food.
And since I know we're going to get this question down in the comments as soon as this video comes out, how much did it all cost? Well, I'm going to tell you how much it cost, but first I want you to stop, pause the video, and scroll down, leave your guess for how much you think it cost in the comments, and I will let you know when you come back. Are you good? You went and commented? We're good to go? Okay. So the total cost for every food and non-alcoholic drink item at the 2021 Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival is $476.55. Now, before you go and say, oh my goodness, that's a crazy amount of money to spend on snacks at Epcot, I mean, it is. I agree with you that it is. But that was split up over the course of several different days of us visiting. That wasn't in one day on vacation. We live here. We made several trips up to Epcot where we just try 2 or 3 items in a given day. So it wasn't like we spent it all at once. And honestly, we had several meals out of all that food. So it's kind of similar to going to several different sit-down meals or quick service meals. Overall, I'm actually surprised it didn't cost a little bit more for the amount of food and drink that we had. And I had so much fun doing it, I would totally do it again.
And a huge part of that too was the memories we got to make together, learning what we did and did not like in some cases, but most of it was all really good and we had a great time trying all these different things. We do have Food and Wine Festival coming up this year, and so if you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments below if you'd be interested in seeing another one of these for the Food and Wine Festival, because it is going to be the longest they have ever had Food and Wine Festival before. It will be more of a challenge because it is not a taste-off. So it will be the full festival, but that is a challenge we're willing to accept if you all would be interested in seeing that.
For research, you know, I will go and eat everything at the Food and Wine Festival for research if I need to, because I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
You're such a good person. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and until next time,
we're here with the ears.